We know that the diversity train wrecks in Worldcon, science fiction, SFWA, all that just cause problems. And we're seeing a big toppling of these structures happening right now because of the, quote, accessibility mob. Now, it's pretty funny because this whole Worldcon crowd, the World Science Fiction Convention, there's no young people anymore. You see a bunch of obese old ladies on walkers and mobility scooters going to these conventions at this point. That's really all that's left after they've just turned out all the normal people. And so as that's gone on, and as you've made a more inclusive environment, what happens is the people start to complain more. We saw this with SFWA a couple months ago. The collapse that's starting there, leading to multiple resignations of their board, all started because they had an employee who started complaining about disability and about accessibility. And that's enough where you can sink an organization. Well, now they're starting to do the same thing at Worldcon. This is the Worldcon convention that just happened a couple months ago. I guess this lady or whatever was trying to work things out with the actual convention staff ahead of time and waited a couple months before posting publicly about it. But she's ripping into them for not being accessible enough. And I love to watch these people eat their own. It's some of my funniest moments. And this is what you get when you try to cater towards mental illness, and you have done that for years, and you try to normalize mental illness, and then you get rid of all the normal people in science fiction. You don't have science fiction anymore. You have a bunch of people just complaining, whining about their identities all the time. And this is why all this is dying. It's sad, but it's funny at the same time because they've turned us off. They've told us we're not welcome in there because of inclusivity. That's the ironic part, right? You're not welcome here because we need to be inclusive. While they just cater towards the lowest common denominators of society, these weird sexual fetishes everywhere, and that's all it's about. And this is what they get. Let's look at this blog, which is hilarious, in a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody. I am a #1 best-selling science fiction writer, and they tried to cancel me, of course, get this all going. And this is my first trilogy that I came out with called the Arishan War Trilogy. And I'm actually close enough on audio sales this month to 200 audiobook sales, which is huge, by the way. So it's a lot less than my ebook sales, of course. But audiobooks are on its way up, and I appreciate everybody who's been, of course, supporting me and my great narrator, who's a wonderful guy, too. We have all 3 books, the whole trilogy, out on audio now. So I'd love you to get us over that 200 for the month. Just need one person to go and buy the whole trilogy. And I appreciate you guys for listening and checking this out. This trilogy really ramps up. And I'm writing a spin-off of it right now, of a space exploration kind of thing, because, we kind of need a new Star Trek is what I thought. And so I'm doing real science fiction that's a lot of fun. This is great. It's a spy thriller. And thank you guys so much for the support. It's in the description below, and it is available on ebook and print as well if you prefer to read that way. I'm just trying to pump up my audio sales for the moment, but it all works. So thank you guys, however you like to read, for checking these out. It's in the description below, as I said. All right. So posting this several weeks after the convention, partly because I was hoping to have some sort of statement from the con runners, a statement that at this point does not appear to be forthcoming. I have no idea who this is. Blogging with Dragons, Mari Ness. And so we can look... This is I guess her books, Resistance and Transformation on Fairy Tales, Through Immortal Shadows Singing, a Tor.com original in the Greenwood. Let's look at the Tor.com original. Okay, why do they go with covers like this? This is weird. I don't know who this is, but 4 ratings. So you can see nobody bought it, and that's what we're dealing with. It's always these wannabe writers pretending to be pros and getting on these panels at these conventions. That's like the entire grift. It's a bunch of like weird old ladies who have nothing to do. Maybe they got their cats at home. They're knitting in their knitting circles. And then they want to have some clout in something, so they get on panels and they're like, I'm on a panel as a professional science fiction writer. And then just post about it all over their social media. And then you look at these panels, and you see, if you've ever been to one, you go into the room, there's like 5 people talking on the panel and like 6 people sitting in the room. And what's funny is this video is going to get this Mary Ness more attention than she's ever had on anything she's ever written. That's the ironic part. But I'm banned from this. So hey, it's a wild world. Okay. So Glasgow 2024, a Worldcon for our future, had this statement on their accessibility page. The accessibility team is committed to providing an equitable experience for all disabled members of Worldcon, which there's a lot more than there used to be. Like I said, they're all on walkers these days. Support will be available for those with mobility needs, visual impairments, hearing loss or differences, and various types of neurodiversity. Like I said, crazy people. That's what we called it before woke. We just said crazy people. No normal people, okay? Don't worry about that. A message from the con chair added, considering access, inclusion, and diversity as integral to Glasgow 2024. Remember when they actually cared about like science fiction and science fiction books and exploring the stars and stuff? Like, oh, yeah, not anymore. Has created an environment where we think carefully about what Worldcon can become. A convention to represent all our futures, as well as a place where everyone can celebrate and an event where we can take these realities joyfully forward after it's over. Now, this means celebrate is like have weird sex fetishes with a bunch of weird, ugly people, and that's what they do. Their after parties are very bizarre. If you've ever been to one of these conventions, whew. This all sounded, if not entirely reassuring, at least hopeful. So I bought my tickets. It was not, in fact, an equitable experience for all disabled members of Worldcon. Oh no. Oh no. Cancel Worldcon, my friends. I love it when they just come after Worldcon. As I've previously noted, many genre events, workshops, conventions, and the like claim that they are focused on offering an exclusive experience open to all, welcoming to people with disabilities, and yet the vast majority I've attended have at best struggled to be accessible, at worst failed at basic accessibility, or created less than fun, humiliating situations. Geez, you sound like a lot of fun at parties. I'm sure we'll add an access ramp to make sure you can attend. Like the last time when I was in my wheelchair on the floor in front of a raised stage that did not have a ramp. Oh no. For a panel discussing disability in science fiction. Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is if I ran a convention right away, there wouldn't be a panel discussing disability in science fiction because nobody wants to go to that. It's unfun. Stop. It's stupid. My gosh. You remember, like, just look back at Star Trek. Like, Geordi LaForge, they, like, made devices in order to, like, make his eyes work because he was blind, and they helped him with it. And that was the whole point. We're going to overcome that. And then eventually they gave him cybernetic eyes, and it was cool. And it's like... but now these people, like, it's like Dungeons and Dragons, like with the wheelchair accessible like dungeons. It's like they don't want like a future where like they can be healed anymore. They want to like identify with things now so they can make everybody else miserable with them is what it comes down to. And that's why these conventions are failing so much. I thought things were improving. At least communication was improving, with inaccessible events doing a somewhat better job at warning prospective attendees about potential problems before said attendees handed over their non-refundable money. I could not even point to a couple of events that were largely accessible, and to statements suggesting a couple of historically inaccessible events, High Clarion West, were taking active steps to change that situation. Jeez. I mean, gosh, these people are angry and insufferable all the time. And then came COVID. Dun, dun, dun. Ironically enough, initially, COVID seemed to make events more equitable since everyone had to do the same online events. It made me feel if finally, I can enjoy the same access to events everyone else enjoyed. That turned out to be very wrong. Jeez. Oh, genre events claimed accessibility was a priority while heading to wheelchair inaccessible spaces. Even in one case, a 9th century castle literally designed and built to be inaccessible. Here's the thing. It's like, you have an issue. Just like, people are doing their best to accommodate you, lady. Like, and they really are. I mean, these people care about this stuff a lot. Some things just are not going to be that way. And it's just life. Like, I mean, my gosh. Just being angry all the time. This is what these people do. And this is why they go crazy. So Glasgow 2024 hired an access team. My gosh. What a grift. And then they put efforts into creating a hybrid con where members unwilling to participate in person could still enjoy an access through live streaming. Well, geez. Getting around the convention. If the weather is good, the best way to get between SEC and Crown Plaza is go outside. Access noted another issue. The lift at the exhibition station was out of service for a few hours. Oh, no. This is just this is life, lady. I get it. You're a perennial victim. Your entire point in publishing is to be a victim, and otherwise they wouldn't hire you for anything. But this is what they're doing. I hate that I'm defending Worldcon at this juncture. Most disabled toilets required a special radar key to access. Get over it. Oh my gosh. Speaking of lifts, the second floor where I had my reading was accessible by one tiny, tiny lift that could only take one wheelchair or mobility scooter user at a time. Oh no. So there was accommodations for a lot of this stuff. It just is never enough. And they did not provide ramps to stages. This isn't everything, but I'm tired. It's a perennial victim thing. This is what they do. And it's never enough for the Inquisition, so you should never, ever go for these people. This is the worst part. Glasgow 2024 did not require proof of vaccination, COVID testing, or masks. Oh, no. Oh, no. Vendors did offer free masks to attendees, but very few people took advantage of these offers because nobody's scared of the fake thing, the China virus, anymore. Come on. When I came home, I tested positive for COVID. I had a mild case. The horror. You had a cold. Yeah, well, wash your hands. That's what I got to say. So there's 2024 World Fantasy at Niagara Falls. That's next. And Worldcon in Seattle 2025. Notice what traditionally marginalized group is missing from that list? I do. Well, I won't be at any of these likely. Maybe I'll go to Seattle 2025. I'll ask them if they'll not ban me. I'm marginalized at this point. I'm a victim. I'm the victim here. Jeez. But this is what these people are. This is who Tour.com promotes. This is who Worldcon promotes, is what they are. They eat their own. They try to destroy everything they touch. And it's funny. It's a weird spot to have to defend Worldcon. But clearly, they were trying. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Just get over it and just be happy in life. Be happy that you have the capability to attend anyway. At least that's what you'd think. Oh, well. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let's enjoy some great science fiction. Grab this trilogy, The Arishan War, get it on audio if you can, and otherwise, ebook print. It's a great read for your weekend. You'll really enjoy this. High action, high fun space opera with none of the whining. And thank you guys so much for making this book a great success this year. I appreciate you so much.